Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett's a Democrat of Texas. She serves as the vice-ranking member of the Oversight Committee and also serves on the DOJ subcommittee, and she joins me now. I want to start with the question to you from your perch, particularly in the DOJ subcommittee. If my read on this, which is they've kind of like this weird division of labor where Elon Musk just cuts a bunch of stuff and they get to be like, I don't know, take it up with him, because then they don't have to vote for anything and they get a lot of cuts they want.
Yeah, but okay, he's not cutting anything, right? You're lying, right? He's exposing what should be cut, right? Ultimately, he doesn't have the authority to make any cuts. So right away, this is kind of feeding that liberal hive mind mentality where it's Elon as an elected person and he's doing all these things that he actually isn't doing, right? If you hire a tax professional, if you hire an auditor, if you hire somebody to go and take a look at your books because you want to see where things are going, that's not the person that's laying the people off. Right, that's the person that's showing you maybe who you should be laying off, right? But he's not the one that's writing out the pink slips. He's not the one that is telling the people to leave. He's not the one that is not issuing the checks, right? The checks are going out. The checks are he's pointing out maybe these shouldn't be going out, right? He's pointing out, this contract is overdue. It's a year past its due date. So why are we still paying it? That's what he's pointing out.
And now that's coming to an end.
Yeah, listen, it's interesting because the DOJ subcommittee is all for cosplay, right? Like, we had a hearing today and it was all about trans people fencing. And they brought in someone, they actually subpoenaed a man and was like, hey, we know we give you $0 federal dollars, but we want to talk about this. And I'm like, okay, so this is efficient of us to do this, right? But they did not want to have a conversation around the cuts that you just were having a conversation about, right? One of the things that I decided to do, they may not have wanted to talk about it, but I was going to highlight it. And what I did is I went through each and every one of the members on the DOJ subcommittee. I went through their districts and talked about how many children specifically were at risk for losing their Medicaid. And guess whose district was at the top of the list? The chairwoman, with 111,000 children that stand the risk of losing their Medicaid. Yet we're having a conversation, or we are sitting out and giving red meat to Fox News instead of talking about the real issues.
Am I right that the train is running late right now in terms of the timing of all this? I mean, I was trying to go back and look at where things were, but the Ron Johnson quote was interesting. Again, a lot of this has been behind the closed doors. Trump does so much by like fiat and decree, even though he constitutionally can't, that this has been obscured. In a different administration, there'd be more.
Even though he constitutionally can't. You guys understand that? The way they throw things out there. So that quote that is taken again, out of context, because he's not saying anything. He's saying he does things by fiat, even though he constitutionally can't. Okay, like this is on a quote unquote news channel, and you're telling the people that are consuming you that Trump does things by fiat, even though he constitutionally can't. Then what do? They run out and they post that and they talk about it and they say it. But what are they actually saying? They're not saying anything because he didn't say anything. Right. And that's why he's not held accountable, because he's an opinion person that's out there just saying what he thinks, his opinion. Right. Even though it's disguised as a news channel.
Eyeballs on this, but it does seem like they're running late. Is that your sense?
Yeah, I mean, they're running late and they're running scared. Listen, you either are going to do what you need to do as it relates to the people that elected you, or you are going to go ahead and make sure that you bend the knee to your king. And right now, they don't know which one to do. I don't even know why it's a debate. But that's where we are. Like this week, we were actually supposed to have markups in two of the most important committees. We're supposed to have a markup in energy and commerce. That is where the Medicaid cuts are supposed to come in, to the tune of $880 billion. They also were supposed to have a markup as it relates to agriculture and SNAP benefits, cutting $220 billion from SNAP when people only get $6 a day to eat in SNAP benefits for those that do receive it. And the last time I checked, you probably can't get 12 eggs for that amount of money. And so instead of doing it, literally there was a leak in a story that came out where a staffer said, No, we want to make sure we can flood the zone. So whenever we do this, we're going to make sure that these committees are going to be at the same time. Like the fact that you're hiding from your constituents, the fact that you literally just are like, let me just throw everything at you so that we can overwhelm you instead of actually doing your job. I cannot wait until voters have an opportunity to say, you took food out of my mouth, you took a roof from over my head, you're responsible for making sure that I do not have health care. I'm going to make sure you don't have a job.
Okay, and what about all the people that maybe they should be doing that on their own, right? Okay, if you're a single mom with a couple kids, that's fine. Is that what they're actually doing? No, what they're doing here is they're fear-mongering, saying that that's what's going to happen, right? So you have people that shouldn't be on these programs, right, that are, getting these benefits and bleeding the system dry, right? And you have other people that maybe should be on the program. You have other people that possibly could use the benefits or that are doing it the right way, right? But should we be held accountable for that? Should people just be continuously getting these things, whatever it is? I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's $6 a day. I want to know that they are somebody that needs it, right? That they are in a need, and that we're not also that we're not creating a systemic or system in place that prolongs them requiring the assistance, right? If you constantly give somebody that fish, they're never going to learn how to fish. They're just going to keep taking it, and then the one day, for whatever reason that you can't provide it for them, what are they going to do? Right? This is not a way to run a society, right? There's obviously going to be people in society that we have to care for but it shouldn't be at mass. It shouldn't be at a massive scale in a country like this, where supposedly we have 4%, unemployment. We're one of the top countries in the world as far as economic development. We got to look at these. Everything should be looked at, no matter what. And if these whatever money is going out the door, if it's not going to people that should be getting it, then yeah, they shouldn't be getting it. You can say all you want that, they're going to cut this many billion, that many billion. All right, but is it unjustified? You're not saying that. You're just saying they're going to cut. Is it unjustified?
Do you think the balance of power in that caucus has shifted at all? I mean, you have people that are in vulnerable districts. There's just reporting that they had one of the ideas they floated was cutting the federal contribution to Medicaid. The folks facing, voters in swing-ish districts got worried about that. Johnson told the House Republicans they were cutting that idea out. You've heard the reporting about the other cuts they're considering. I mean, ultimately, what is your sense of who gets steamrolled here, right? Because there's sort of two factions that can't both have their way.
Yeah, I think it's those in vulnerable districts.
Yeah.
I think they're the ones that are going to get steamrolled. I mean, when we look at what happened in New York, all of those that were in vulnerable districts, for the most part, 4 out of 5 of them, they ended up losing their seats. So I think it's going to be those that potentially keep them actually in the majority. Those are the ones that are going to lose out. So the Don Bacons in Nebraska, who's desperately fighting for his life. We know that Biden won that district. We know that Harris won that district. And unfortunately, our candidate did not overcome Don Bacon. So you've seen him speaking out. And I think what they'll try to do is they'll try to have kind of this, I'm speaking out. And they're hoping that people only see them talking and don't see what they're doing. Yeah. And I just hope that we do everything that we can to make sure that those constituents know that they are the reason that you are hurting right now.
Mike Lawler, another one in New York, who was the fifth out of those 4 or 5, the one who survived. He's going to have some tough votes coming up too. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, thank you.
It seems like they're not going to pivot, right? It seems like they're going to go right into the wind on this, which is fine. If that's because the reason why they have to, because they don't have another play, right? Their play is to. I mean, this was a 5-minute segment. I didn't learn anything. I learned nothing. It was all, there was a bunch of words, but there wasn't much of any substance that just came out. She just said they're planning on cutting, they're gonna do all these things at the same time to overwhelm us. A 5-minute segment with zero information, zero. A lot of rhetoric, right? And a lot of, talking points or whatever it is, they got going on. But as far as substance, there is no substance at all. Guys, if you can subscribe to the channel, it really helps out a lot. If you want to drop in the comments and we can have a discussion, I talk to everybody in the comments. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, this is what they're running on. Nothing. They're running again on fear mongering, they're trying to get their their side riled up, saying that you're going to lose all these things, all the goodies and stuff like that. Don't know if it's going to work. It's the same game they've been playing for a long, long time. Yeah. Thanks a lot for coming out. We'll see you again in the next video. Thanks a lot.